All right, welcome to This Explainer. So today we're unpacking a global phenomenon, but honestly, not in the way you might expect. We're looking at Shakira. And let's just dive right into this because her global appeal, it's not just some masterclass in entertainment marketing. No, it's actually deeply rooted in evolutionary biology, anthropology, and the literal science of how human bodies move. I want you to think about this for a second. How can one person, using just her movement and her voice, absolutely captivate radically different cultures all across the entire planet? Like, is it just incredibly smart PR and flashy magazine covers? Or has she actually tapped into some shared biological code? Well, the answer actually lies hidden in our ancient Ice Age survival mechanisms. Let's find out exactly how this works. Section 1, the biology of movement. To really wrap our heads around this, we've got to look at human anatomy, specifically the human pelvis. It's literally our body's center of gravity and the absolutely crucial pivot point for bipedalism, our ability to walk upright on two legs. For our ancient ancestors trying to survive these really harsh environments, observing how someone moved wasn't just casual viewing. Physical coordination was a vital signal of health, vigor, and fertility way before modern medicine was even a thing, which brings us to one of the most famous pop lyrics of all time, which, as it turns out, doubles as a fascinating piece of peer-reviewed science. Hips don't lie. See, the body possesses its very own system of truth. Long before humans ever developed complex spoken language to deceive or persuade people, we communicated through physical motion. Your movements told the tribe exactly how healthy and capable you were. Now, the secret weapon here is something called mirror neurons. When you watch a performer like Shakira dance, your brain isn't just passively watching a screen or a stage. No, your brain is actively simulating the movement it's seeing. These mirror neurons completely bypass words. They cause this physical surge of energy inside you, communicating directly from her body to yours. You're quite literally feeling her movements mapped out right in your own neural pathways. It's wild. Section 2. Ancestral cultural hybridization. A temporal bridge. From an anthropological standpoint, an artist like this is kind of like an evolutionary anomaly. She bridges the East and the West, creating this incredible connection to ancient human frequencies that we are all still fundamentally hardwired to respond to. She essentially builds what we can call a sonic pyramid. Let me walk you through how this works. Step 1, the foundation. Lebanese roots bringing in belly dance, which is a practice echoing these ancient fertility rituals. Step 2 layers on African and indigenous Latin percussions, basically the deep heartbeat of human history. And then finally, Step 3 tops it all off with modern melodies and technology. By combining millennia-old rhythms with modern sounds, she creates these structures that are built to last in our collective memory, sort of like the Great Pyramids of the ancient world. Section 3. The voice and instinct. We're talking raw acoustics here. So we're diving into the raw, instinctual power of acoustics now, because sound isn't just aesthetic. Certain sound waves actually directly trigger the limbic system, which is the deeply emotional and instinctual center of our brains. Try this sometime. If you close your eyes, it takes an astonishingly short amount of time, literally less than 1 second, to recognize her unique vocal texture. If you were to actually look at a visual of her sound waves, they're not some smooth, perfect line. They look way more like a jagged mountain range. That specific vibrato triggers an instant, almost gut-level reaction inside our brains, way before we even start to process any of the lyrics. Just notice the difference in vocal impact we're looking at here. Over on the left, you've got a technically perfect classical voice, but on the right, an honest, animalistic voice. Shakira uses primal vocal techniques, things like yodeling and intentional vocal breaks. These acoustic elements actually mimic ancient human cries, throat singing, calls of pain, exultation, and longing. It creates this profound sense of empathy because it sounds like a real, raw human experience speaking directly to our ancient brains. Moving on to Section 4, crowd synchronization. How we move as one. Have you ever really stopped to wonder why millions of people across completely different continents who speak totally different languages will just sing the exact same song and dance the exact same way at massive events like the World Cup? Just look at this incredibly powerful juxtaposition. On the left, we've got the ancestral campfire, early humans huddled together just trying to survive. And on the right, a modern World Cup stadium. Throughout our entire evolution, collective singing and dancing has been the biological glue that held human tribes together. It protected them against the massive threats of isolation and the elements.
The modern megastadium, it's really just the ancient campfire on a much, much larger scale.
The science behind this is absolutely fascinating. Group synchronization is this evolutionary mechanism where moving and singing together physically aligns the heartbeats of the individuals in the crowd. By using simple, deeply powerful rhythmic structures, an artist acts as a global catalyst. I mean, she literally turns a massive, disparate stadium crowd of tens of thousands of individuals into a single, cohesive, living organism. It's magic, but it's biology.
Section 5, Intelligence and Free Will. Let's talk about conscious choices.
All right, so we're moving beyond just raw performance here to really examine the strategic intelligence behind the art and what this actually means for the nature of our conscious choices. Like, what does it actually mean to be truly intelligent? Is it just the ability to solve complex math equations? Consider this for a second. She speaks multiple languages fluently. She writes her own complex lyrics, produces the tracks, and has effortlessly adapted across decades, going from 90s rock to global pop to modern urban genres. Intelligence, at least in an evolutionary sense, is pure adaptability. It's the profound ability to deeply understand mass human psychology and flawlessly translate human emotion into resonating sound waves. Which, honestly, introduces a massive metaphysical twist. Think about it. When that powerful music starts, millions of people begin moving unconsciously. Their feet start tapping, their hips start swaying, all without them even actively deciding to do it. It sparks a really fascinating debate. Are we actually masters of our actions? Or do our genes, our biology, and our auditory environment control us way more than we'd ever like to admit? Well, biologists actually have a name for this phenomenon. It's called motor capture. It happens when a powerful rhythmic stimulus literally takes possession of your body, temporarily overriding your conscious thinking mind. But, rather than seeing it as a loss of control, think of motor capture as a beautiful gift. It's this fleeting, really precious moment where we stop being minds tortured by past regrets or future anxieties, and we just return to being pure physical bodies, vibrating right in the present moment. Okay, let's pitch a wild thought experiment for a second. If life as we know it is a digital simulation, an artist with this level of global impact is essentially a bug or a super user in the system. Why? Because she generates a vastly disproportionate amount of global energy and attention for just one single human being. She basically represents a mathematical convergence of our ancient history, our underlying biology, and modern global technology, all rolled up into one focal point. So what does all of this mean, and what should you take away from this explainer? Beneath our glowing smartphones and our massive, concrete modern cities, our hips still carry the entire evolutionary history of our species. It proves that music isn't just an industry or simple entertainment. It is literally the only truly universal pre-verbal language that crosses all barriers. At our core, we are creatures that will always need to vibrate together. As we bring this analysis to a close, I want to leave you with a provocative question to think about regarding your own biology. What is that one song that instantly overrides your conscious mind and just forces your body to move? Think about those ancient, ancestral forces at work the next time your foot starts tapping. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and keep up the quest to understand exactly what makes us all human.